Hello, Cancer. Welcome to this reading. We're going to be taking a look at the energy and predictions for the sign of Cancer for the rest of April. Now, do keep in mind that this is a general reading, so take the messages as they resonate, drop the ones that do not, and also check out your sun, moon, and rising signs. All right, Cancer, let's go ahead and see what we have coming forward for you here in this mid-month update for the month of April. All right, I do hope you're doing well. Hope things are going good for you, Cancer. Let's go ahead and get all of the cards out here, get everything in view, and then we'll get right into this reading for you. All right, Cancer. And I think that's looking just about good enough to me. Well, I have to say the water signs have had a very, very good mid-month set of readings, for sure. All right, energy on the bottom. You have the Seven of Wands. So it's possible here that at some point throughout the rest of this month or as you roll into May, that you have to maybe stand your ground around something. The Seven of Wands represents potentially competition, but it's really about like sometimes in life where we have to kind of draw our line in the sand and say, this is my hill. Like, this is my hill to die on. This is what I believe in. This is what I'm going for. And this is how I feel. That's the Seven of Wands. It can really talk about like standing your ground and standing up for yourself. And again, it may represent that there is an element of competition present for you in your life at this time, likely to be in workplace scenarios, but it can really be in any context. But the reason I say workplace scenarios is that the wands is connected to work. So I definitely like to see this actually though, because you have the 8 next to it. So, sorry, you have the 8 as well on this reading. So the 8 is next to the 7, right? The 8 comes after the 7, which to me would suggest that you are going to very easily handle any sort of conflict or competitive scenario here that you may be involved in this rest of the month. Overall, you have a very, very positive reading here. Yeah, there are really no signs of sort of like weakness, you could say, in this type of reading. We'll try to get the best message possible for you here, but in the middle of the reading here, you have the 8 of Pentacles. Now, this card is very important because it informs the rest of the cards. This card touches every single card in the spread. And so the 8 of Pentacles in this case is really about dedication to a task. And typically, it is dedication to your career. You can see that this person here is wrapping up their latest project. They're working late into the night. And so for you, you may be finding that you have to fight for something in your work situation or in your career life, or there may be something that you need to fight for here, and this may even sort of re-establish or reintegrate or kind of reaffirm some level of dedication that you have to something, right? Certainly this could be in love. It could be like, okay, this is what I feel about you. You know, let's say if you're like dating or you're in a marriage, this could represent you kind of bearing your feelings to somebody and telling them how dedicated you are to them or how dedicated they are to you, as you do have the Page of Cups. But it's very likely that this scenario is not about love and more likely to be about work and career situations. Now, in the first column here, you have the Queen of Swords, the King of Wands, and the 9 of Cups. Okay, so the Queen of Swords is really somebody who is like tactile in their communication, okay? They are able to really cut to the chase and cut out all of the nonsense, cut out all of the fluff, and communicate exactly how they need to communicate. And, you know, the way that you can look at this is somebody who will tell you what you need to hear, not what you want to hear. And maybe it's both, but you get the idea here, right? So there could be a situation where you are skillfully and tactfully using your words in a way that affirms your boundaries. here because you do have the Seven of Wands with this idea of dedication and the Queen of Swords. So coming up with the right sort of concoction of language to tell someone what you feel or what you think about this situation. Something that's coming to mind is like it's almost like I do feel like there's maybe something with a colleague if you're still working, that, or like a superior, maybe even like a boss, somebody that you work under. Or if you're in the leadership role, you may have to have a sort of a stern conversation with somebody here, as the Queen of Swords is certainly somebody who can deliver that type of message. What's nice though is that you in the workplace specifically, or in, let's say you own a business and you work with clients or whatever, you're in the power position here, Cancer, because you do have the King of Wands. King of Wands is always in the power position because they are the most skilled person in the room, okay? And basically everybody wants to hire the King of Wands. Everybody wants the King of Wands to be on their team. By the way, it doesn't matter what gender you are. We have both king and queens. These are just energies here, as well as 2 pages, by the way. You are definitely in the power position in your work scenario or in your career here. And you may realize the ability or the capability that you have around a specific project or in a specific work scenario, okay? Yeah, I pretty strongly believe that. I pretty strongly feel that here for you in this reading. You then have the Nine of Cups. So the key message here is, I guess what I would ask you is, are you having fun in what you are doing, right? Are you in a job that is a dead-end job, or are you in a job that is one that is, you know, filling up your cups, so to speak? Because the Nine of Cups, this person, all of their cups are full, okay? They are living in the moment and they are in a period of bliss, really. And I think that this is probably attached or connected to your employment scenario here, or in your business, if you own a business as well. The King of Wands is the entrepreneur if they're not in the workplace. Nine of Cups can also suggest wish fulfillment. So if you've had a wish that you've thrown out to the universe, this can also see that wish come in. Some of you are dreaming about a new position, potentially, as well. A new position in your career or in your field. Some of you are dreaming about that as we have double pages here in the future. But let's just go ahead and move to the middle column here. So in the middle, you have the Four of Pentacles, the Eight of Pentacles, and the Eight of Wands, all right? So I love the number 8 in a reading because if you flip the 8 sideways, the 8 is an infinity symbol. And what I would say is, for you, it does feel like you have an unlimited amount of opportunities here in your work and your career situation. I see maybe some of you reaching out to 2 things. One, I see maybe some of you reaching out to your contacts. Maybe you have peers in other workplaces, or you have peers within your field that have a job opening. Or I see someone headhunting you, right? Somebody reaching out to you and saying, wow, we've seen what you've done. Maybe you spoke at a conference, or you completed some work or some project or something, and you are getting noticed here. And the reason I say that is you have the Eight of Wands. Eight of Wands can represent communication coming in from a distance. Okay, so this could be phone calls, text messages, letters, emails, all of that. Okay, social media messages, anything like that. And at the beginning of this reading, I said there may be some level of competition here with the Seven of Wands. Well, the Eight of Wands, the reason it comes after the 7 is it's a breakthrough. It's basically the path clearing after you've dealt with whatever competition or conflict here with the Seven of Wands. And so it's always good to see these cards come together in a reading. So we talked about how I think you have like 2 high skill cards here with the Eight of Pentacles and the King of Wands. These are both cards I look for when I'm looking at skill in a tarot reading. So you have some special combination of skills or something like this that makes you very valuable in your situation, okay? And I think that for some of you, if you can't come to resolution around this boundary that you are reaffirming or setting, that you may look to another place. That's possible. You have the Four of Pentacles, which could suggest that you have something close to you here. Okay, you can see that this person is holding the pentacles close to their chest. This represents that they have something. They need to detach from this idea of never getting these back, right? This person may feel like, oh, if I don't let just one pentacle go, I'll never get more pentacles, right? So there can be an element of like over attachment with the Four of Pentacles, but for you, I think it's more about something that you possess, right? And this could very well be accolades in career or skills that you have as you've built and developed your career potentially or your business. In the final column here, we have the Page of Pentacles, the Page of Cups, and the Ten of Pentacles. So the double pages, always a good sign, especially when it's the Pentacles and the Cups. Page of Pentacles is typically what I look for when you actually receive the offer letter, okay? So the Page of Wands might be like the job opportunity, while the Page of Pentacles may actually be the offer coming in. So with the page, this could even, by the way, be job raises as well when you see the Page of Pentacles. So I see either a raise or a new position somewhere else coming in for you based on this reading. With the King of Wands, the Eight of Pentacles, the Eight of Wands representing communication. There's definitely a lot of communication at this time for Cancer people as we look at the double pages and the Eight of Wands. Ten of Pentacles may suggest that this opportunity comes with a little bit more or even significantly more than you were expecting. And the Page of Cups, obviously that can talk about like love opportunities. This wasn't really a love reading. So I talked about how like I would ask you, are you happy in what you're doing with that Nine of Cups? Page of Cups may be an offer of happiness here. Okay, maybe it comes with a little bit more money or a lot more money, and also you may be a little bit happier, right? Best of both worlds type energy. Why don't we go ahead and take a look at the Oracle cards. We'll start to clarify this situation even more. I'll pull a couple Oracle cards for you here. All right, we'll take 5 for you, Cancer. Energy on the bottom is Mirror Guardian. Take time to reflect. It's pretty self-explanatory. I remember like I changed jobs in my career when I had an office job, and I really felt like I needed a moment to like put everything on the table and make sure I was seeing the pros and cons. And I think that that's why this is showing up for you here, this Mirror Guardian. Okay, we have Summer, bask in joy and light, as well as Seer, see beyond the current situation. Okay, so seeing the message between the message here, and maybe not getting caught up in the weeds as you may have this competition energy. Summer may suggest June, July, August, but what's going on here in April, and we can extend that out to May for you, is probably pretty important for the summer period for you. You then have Druid, hold the space. Lady, enjoy growth and reap rewards, as well as Shapeshifter, transform and unveil your gifts. Well, you see here that the word gifts is on this Shapeshifter card. I really think that I'm talking to some pretty highly skilled people here in whatever it is that you do, okay? Also, the Lady card is the Empress card in this Oracle deck. The Empress card is associated with abundance. So it almost feels like what's on the other end of these offers and opportunities here, or this maybe campaign to get a raise, is more than you may be expecting with the Page of Pentacles, which is nice. All right, let's go ahead and let's take a look at getting some additional tarot cards. Now, once again, I do appreciate you being here. Thank you so much for spending your time with me, Cancer. And let's see what cards come forward here in the clarifications. All right, let me go ahead and split the deck here, and then we'll get right into it. All right, you have the Emperor, counterpart to the Empress. You have the Two of Swords, and the Page of Wands. Wow, okay. So triple pages here, 3 pages in this reading, all in different suits. Page of Wands with the Nine of Cups. Wow, yeah, Hmm. Yeah, I see optionality here for you. Yeah, I really see optionality, meaning um, if the current situation you're in is not fulfilling you, there's something better on the horizon, or there's at least another option, maybe multiple options. Okay, as you have all of these pages. Again, the Page of Wands may suggest that the opportunity is available. So the job board, LinkedIn, whatever it is, right? However people find jobs now, or through a contact or a connection that you have. And then the Page of Pentacles may actually be you signing off on the contract, the employment contract. So I like that it's with the Nine of Cups, okay? Because again, we talked about how that was a pretty important card for you, as you want to make sure that you're happy in what you're doing, and that certainly is showing up with that Nine of Cups. Two of Swords, it's maybe it's possible that there's this message here of you seeing beyond the current situation and then taking time to reflect, making sure that you put all the cards on the table, so to speak, and that you're making an informed decision with that Two of Swords. Because you have a major skill set here. And then the Emperor, this could be the authority figure, but this could also be you stepping into that role. This is like a big boss energy, is what I always like to say with the Emperor. This is somebody who's very successful in work, in career, business situations, when you get the Emperor card. I will say that maybe there is a point of disagreement between you and a colleague. I would say that this person may have, you either have power over them or they have power over you. It's one of those, it's a power dynamic issue here because of the Emperor and the King there, with the Seven of Wands indicating competition and the Two of Swords indicating like needing to express yourself, like express your voice, but having a hard time expressing it. So this might be in play for some Cancer people here at this time as well. Let's see what else we have. So you have the King of Wands again. Wow. Okay. You have the Queen of Pentacles. So many people in your reading. And then the Chariots here. Well, on the other side of this is some pretty lofty or hefty success for you, which is very, very positive. By the way, the Chariot is your energy. This is the card of Cancer with the Eight of Wands, which is a breakthrough, okay? It's almost like some of you are going to have an aha moment in this scenario. You're going to have an aha moment with the Eight of Wands indicating breakthroughs or the clouds clearing sort of, or the pathway clearing, and then you being the Chariot in the tarot. Yeah. Also, the Chariot, it's not only just about success, it's not just Cancer, but it's also this idea of as above, so below. The idea is that you, up to this point, have really put in the work, okay? And it almost feels like Spirit, the universe, God, whatever you believe in, is coming forward to show you this new opportunity that is very, very much available to you here. With the Queen of Pentacles and the Eight of Pentacles, I think that some of you have probably have very healthy habits and solid routines, and this has allowed you to stay dedicated to something. The Queen of Pentacles can represent your habits and your routines in life, okay? And this person has gotten to their throne. You see that they're sitting on the throne. They have the gold crown. They have the pentacle in their hand. They've done that by doing the same thing day in and day out, and also keeping it down to earth, so to speak. And yeah, so I think that these sorts of things have probably helped you in this scenario. You then have the King of Wands twice. Again, this is somebody who's also a leader in work and in entrepreneurship, business, self-employment. But, there's somebody who just, if they're not enjoying what they're doing, they're not going to do it. Because, again, the King of Wands is in the power position because they have skill and they have talent and they're fun to work with, right? So it feels like this is a repeating message to you and for you here. And remember, that's landing on the Four of Pentacles. There's something that is close to you, okay? You have the Devil card, you have the Temperance, and the Lovers. Okay, so we end the reading here on a bang. All three clarifications are major arcanas. So there's definitely a major theme developing in this final column. As we had the double pages, the Ten of Pentacles, now we've got the major arcanas, okay? There's something around temptation here with the devil and one of these offers, okay? So I think basically some of you are needing to do like a cost-benefit analysis here, or a pros and cons kind of list here. Like, okay, maybe something's coming with more money, but do I really want to open Pandora's box around what that entails? And maybe, is it too good to be true? But also at the same time, maybe you can live in the best of both worlds. It's possible. You'll have to do that. You'll have to make that determination for yourself. But there may be something like that that's going through your mind at this time. You then have the temperance energy here, which is all about balance, moderation, and balance and moderation, healing as well after a challenging or difficult situation, or just a transformative situation. That is showing up with the Page of Cups. So maybe if you're still here and you have this like love situation that's happening, I see some pretty positive signs of you being able to either create conflict resolution in your relationship, or come to some sort of like mutual decision in the relationship, especially with the Lover's card here. On the bottom, you do have the Knight of Swords. I think taking time to reflect, like that Oracle card says, the Knight of Swords may be somebody who moves too quickly, and then later on down the line, they realize, I should have waited a second. Or, it's basically saying be careful of making harsh or rash decisions. Why don't we go ahead and start to clarify the situation even more by pulling some Kipper cards here. We'll close out the reading with some Kipper messages and see what comes forward for you. Okay, you have toil and labor, pathway. Wow, occupation, amazing. Official person, amazing. Mature woman, and lovers. Okay, I say amazing because this is very, very, very clear message here. Your hard work's paying off very clearly. It's going to probably be in the summer, depending on where you are. But I'm going to say June, July, August type deal. But what's happening right now is very important to this timeline here. But your hard work is paying off here. Pathway may suggest 3 to 6 months in the future. I'm going to say June, July, August. But your pathway is your dharma. It's the path you're supposed to be walking on in this lifetime. And your hard work's paying off here with the toil and labor card, occupation. And then official person is the actual person who can deliver the employment contract or give you the raise, so to speak. Mature women and lovers is interesting. I'm not really getting a lot on this love scenario, other than it seems pretty positive. Other than maybe the devil and the Two of Swords, it seems like you can come to a mature decision around that scenario. Cancer, thank you so much for being here. If you enjoyed this, hit the like button, subscribe, and I'll most certainly be talking to you again soon.